No, just no. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Amy. Today I'm going to be doing a new type of video that you will be seeing here on my channel. It is similar to videos I've done in the past, but I'm mixing it up a little bit in the sense that I will no longer be doing strictly monthly wrap-ups. I am planning on doing instead something more along the lines of when I finish enough books that I feel like I have something to talk about, then I will update you guys and let you know what I've read and what I thought about them. And to make this one even a little bit more special, I happened to start this year reading a lot of self-help books, which is something that I find is not talked about on BookTube very often, and I think it should be talked about more often. I think self-help books kind of have this stigma about them that makes you not want to talk about them. Like you're admitting that there's something wrong with you, when in all actuality, we all could use improvement, and I hope everyone does want to improve, and sometimes you just need the advice of another person to just help you to get better or heal or whatever it is that you are trying to accomplish. And currently at this state of my life, I have a lot of changes happening. There's been a lot of things that I've gone through the last few months, so I really was turning to these self-help type of books and inspiring type of books to just help me connect with me and the world around me. So if you're interested in this topic, please let me know if you'd like to see more of these types of videos in the future in the sense of self-help style of books, but otherwise let's go ahead and get into the books that I've read. One of the first self-help type of books I started with this year, I got at a library sale for very inexpensive, and thus in doing so, I have completely destroyed this book, where I have talked about on my channel before that I really do like to write in my books and take notes and things. I basically vandalized this one, starting with the fact that I wrote Be Amy on the cover. But this is The Happiness Project by Gretchen Rubin. She's written several other self-help type of books, and I was really excited about this one. And unfortunately, it was a major miss. I really did not connect with Gretchen's approach to trying to find more happiness in her world, even though technically there was nothing wrong with her world. She's married, she has a child, she's working her dream job, but she just wanted to see what she could do to be happier. And in doing so, she approaches it from a very statistical, analytical, straight, narrow type of way that resulted in a lot of statistics in this book. Things like people who have more friends tend to be happier, which are bits of information that I find enjoyable, but she then took these statistics and made it into a direct goal. So this book is split up into 12 months. Each month she adds a new aspect of what she thinks will do, or what she thinks will help make her happy. And to me, it just came out too dry and not enough to do with who you are as a person, even though one of her goals was be Gretchen, hence Be Amy. It didn't work for me. I know a lot of people really love this book. This is a best-selling book, but I would probably give it a 2 out of 5 stars. The next book that I read this month is a book that my dad's been trying to get me to read for a while now, because our brains are exactly the same, and things that benefit him generally benefit me. And for him, that's been meditation. And so he recommended to me How to Meditate by Pema Chodron, a practical guide to making friends with your mind. This book is written by Pema, who I've read this is the second book of hers now that I have read. I messed that sentence up, but I've messed this up so many times, we're just gonna keep going. And I really enjoy it. Pema is a Buddhist nun who is in Nova Scotia, and she just breaks down meditation for you, both spiritually and just the actual technical practice of it and what it can do for you. I really enjoyed this book. I don't really feel like I can rate it. Well, I probably could. I would give this book a 4 out of 5 stars. I think that if you're interested in meditation, especially if you intend to meditate and there's some spirituality aspects for you involved, to pick up this book. It's very short and very readable. In comparison to How to Meditate by Pema Chodron, I picked up a different book about meditation that takes a completely different platform, I would say, and that is Unplug, a simple guide to meditation for busy skeptics and the modern soul seekers by Suze Yolof Schwartz. And she is a woman who was living on the East Coast, grew up on the East Coast, was this high, big, successful magazine editor. She was the makeover queen in her field. And when her husband got a dream job, they moved to Los Angeles, and she really, really struggled with that. And thus, in doing so, found meditation to be very, very helpful for her. And having loved meditation so much and not finding meditation easily accessible in order to learn how to do it, she started a meditation studio in Los Angeles by the name of Unplug. So this book, as compared to How to Meditate, is just very, very basic. Like, how do you meditate? What can it do for you? Another thing that this book included that Pema's does not is that it has scientific tidbits and facts and statistics about meditation and the positive ways that it can influence your life and your physical makeup, such as your brain and like your telomeres, which are part of your DNA, etc., etc. So I like that part of it, but there are some parts of this book that became a little bit more of a promotion about her teachers in her studio, and I didn't enjoy that part so much. But if you're looking for a book that's just the cut and dry, bare bones, how do I meditate, what can it do for me, definitely check this book out. Again, it's short and a quick read. The next book that I read that was in the vein of self-help and spirituality was Your Illustrated Guide to Becoming One with the Universe by Yumi Sukagawa. This book is a graphic self-help book. Obviously, there are words in it as well, and there are some really awesome prompts to get you thinking about you and your relationship with the universe and the world, God, however you choose to view the world around us. And I enjoyed it immensely. Obviously, it was a really, really quick read, with it being of mostly graphic form, but these are pen sketches that I just found really, really amazing and beautiful and simple, and I enjoyed that visual aspect of it. And the prompts that I mentioned, they just really, really help to get you thinking. I would really, really like to put this book on my shelf one day, as I did check this one out from the library, but I highly recommend it if you just kind of want to dip your toes into this whole concept of spirituality and your connection to the world and everyone else and everything else. It's definitely a good one to check out. Another 4 out of 5 stars for me. Along the same lines as the Illustrated Guide to Becoming One with the Universe, I also read My Friend Fear, Finding Magic in the Unknown by Mira Lee Patel. She is the author of the journal book Start Where You Are. I have not read that book or participated with its prompts or whatnot, but this is her second book, and she is also a self-taught watercolor artist, which is a medium that I've chatted about on my channel very briefly before, but I just really enjoy it. So this book has stunning watercolor illustrations on every page, and I really enjoyed that aspect of this book. This book just basically discusses the fact that fear is something that we see as a part of our lives that holds us back, but she argues that if we confront it and get to know it, in actuality, that's how we are going to achieve our dreams and our goals and realize what we truly want. And she discusses her own experiences with fear and mental health and mental illness and how others perceive her. And like I said, I really, really enjoyed the illustrations in this book. They were absolutely beautiful, but some of the writing to me was a little bit overworked. It became clunky, a little bit too flowery, for lack of a better term. But I think the message of this book is really good in the sense that just embrace your fear, as scary as it is, but eventually it will get you to where you want to be. So I think I would rate this book a 3 out of 5 stars because there are parts of it, like the illustrations, that I really, really enjoyed, but in a lot of areas, her writing just was a bit of a miss for me. The last self-help book that I want to chat about has also been my favorite self-help book that I have read this year, and that is The Self-Love Experiment by Shannon Kaiser. This book is freaking amazing. Basically, what this book is about is learning to love you. It is a very American trend. It is a very millennial trend, I would say, this concept of self-love that I think is actually really important, because if we don't love us, then we're gonna have a lot of problems in our lives. And This book is about accepting who you are inside, also confronting things from your past and how that's affected you now. And I really, really loved this book. As you can tell, I plan on reading it again soon. I think this is a book that you can go back to again and again and still glean something from it that's really, really pivotal to you in that moment. So I think this is a book everybody can benefit from reading. The language in it and her writing is really accessible and really readable. And if you're looking for a book that will help you to be comfortable with who you are, which is hard to do, I highly recommend this. This was definitely a 5 out of 5 star read for me. Those are the self-help books that I have read recently, and most of which I would say I enjoyed. I don't think any one of those books I got nothing out of. I think you can always get something out of a book, but you know, not all books are for all people, and that's just the way the world works, I guess. So if you guys liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you've read any of these books or are interested in reading any of these, please let me know down in the comments. I love chatting with you all there. And if you really, really love this video, then go ahead and subscribe and you'll see more of my face in your feed. But thank you so much for watching, you guys. We'll see you in my next video. Happy reading. Finding magic in the unknown, the known. Why can I not make those two words totally? They're different words. There's like a space in between it. They're not combined.